a mind game, yeah. But let's see if that's actually the case. So we have Yo-Yo starting things off, and he's choosing not to go with air. He is going with the ground option, which is the P.E.K.K.A. Smash, and he's bringing actually a couple of lightnings to this one as well to get rid of the enemy Scatter, enemy Warden, and this is giving him a great pathing. 2 more lightnings to take down the Scatter. There we go, and now this Warden Walk should take down the Inferno Tower, and as soon as that's set, he can get started with the P.E.K.K.A., the Witches, and the Super Wizards.
Very calmly done there at the start, making sure to keep an eye on the Warden, rotating the lightning spells around that scatter shot for maximum value, trying to get the multi-target Inferno here, and then after that, he's still going to be looking pretty good on time to just drive everything in towards the Town Hall. Yo-Yo 23 obviously did get the 3 stars last weekend, with Alternate getting the perfect war, and it was interesting to see him using ground there as well, Itsu, but it looks like with the balloons coming in, we are just about ready for the main phase of the attack.
Yeah, really nice use of those loons. It's so important to bring those loons. If you guys are wondering why exactly, it is to get every single black mine out of the way to make sure that those healers can not be taken down. And there's already the first 2 black mines, Tornado Trap as well, so nicely done so far, triggering all of that just with those couple of loons. The Warden ability is covering everything perfectly, and now everything is going to just like overkill the town. There's 1 wall piece missing actually behind. I guess it's to like mess up certain wall breaks, but this is giving me actually the possibility of just like go through this base like nothing without even having to invest a jump spell at this point.
Yeah, because he has another super wall breaker coming through. It is perfectly placed to get to the middle compartment, giving access towards the Eagle and the multi. You did see some of the black bombs going off there to get the healers. Again, just showing why you do take balloons to protect your healers to later on in the battle. It does look like these super wizards have gone down at this point, but he does have P.E.K.K.A. with full health that the healers switch onto. Queen ability just about to be used, but he still has the Royal Champion, Itsu. Not deployed.
The Royal Ship. Yeah, it's not even deployed yet. And there's still another freeze on which he has not deployed either. So it's a lot of power. It's a lot of power which he still has. And one interesting thing I have to say, why did he brought a dragon in his siege barracks? That's interesting because he is not bringing the dragon in his army composition, except that the loons are helping perfectly. The queen is taking down the enemy Royal Champion. Judo, as long as this is not coming down to time, I think this is really looking awesome for Yo-Yo.
Well, he has a couple of troops on the right-hand side that he deployed just to speed up the attack, and that might be the difference maker, using the freeze on the final defense. RC shield goes off, and Yo-Yo 23 begins today's matches with the 3-star, continuing on exactly where Atn.attax left off. Beautiful start to today's stream.
That is impressive. I mean, so far, yet Atn has to fail in this tournament. Every single attack so far was a triple by them. Like, it's just crazy, and especially going against like this. We talked a bit more about like going first, going second, what is better. And I feel like Atn going first is definitely better for them, putting up the pressure early. And now it's up to 11 Original somehow to come back, especially one thing which I love about, because I talked with the base builder of Atn, and he said one of the best things about Atn as well is that every single one of them, or most of them, are building their own bases. So having so much input into that, being able to bait entries, being able to defend certain strategies. Let's see if this is helpful in this one, and if Khaled can somehow overcome this.
Well, flipping the meta a little bit, we did talk about strategies and success rates at the start of the stream. Eve Kale using the dragons, which didn't have the best success rate, so maybe he does see something on the base here that he fancies the dragon attack strategy for. Starting with the earthquake spell to the west side of the base, that is going to be for the Royal Champion seeking shield. Very nice use of the lightning spell to reset the single target Inferno's charge, and just mean that the Royal Champion can get a little bit extra value here, Itsu.
Oh my goodness, that one Tesla was just so good.
Wow.
He wanted to get the air defense with his Yeti, but instead the Tesla soaked up every single Yeti might. Those are not just the small things which are so good, and I don't know if that was planned. Maybe because this Yeti thing is a common thing, but still, The Town Hall should go down with that Queen still being around there. The King is doing a great job of pushing everything inside. The Invisibility Spell keeps the Queen alive, and now we have the Dragons swarming the base.
Interesting stuff here because he's taken out a huge portion of the splash to the west side of the base. Notice we just have the Scattershot and Wizard Tower to the northern area. Is he going to try and drop the bats within the Scattershot radius or to the side of the base so he can swoop around? Because he does have 3 freeze spells here, Itsu, so it looks pretty good as long as the Dragons can get through the center. They are continuing to push through, and we can just see the bats coming in from the top area of the base. They will be able to get a lot of bats spawned prior to getting to that Wizard Tower. The free spell comes in, bats continuing to spawn, Dragons going down fast. It's going to be a close one as long as he can continue to tank that scatter, though. I think he might get this.
Yeah, this is looking so good. The bats are just overpowering the back, and the scatter is the last important defense, and that should go down.
Oh!
And we have a match in our hand. This is going to be the next 3-star 4-color, and Eleven Original are answering right away to alternate. And what an attack! I think this is the first drag. Oh no, it's not the first drag with the triple, but still, it's one of the first triples with the Dragons, and this was such an overpowering one.
Incredible. We did see one of the attacks from Indian Clashes, I think it was, using the drag bat, but that really was overpowering. As I was commentating, about 6 dragons popped up from behind the percentage area of the screen that I couldn't see. I don't think he lost many dragons there, Itsu. Really did do well to just pick apart everything incredibly.
Yeah, it was really nicely done. I was already a bit afraid of this one. Air defense not going down, but I then just saw that it was only the pathing thing for the Queen, so it wasn't the end of the world. He did everything amazingly. And one interesting thing to know about this is that Eve Carlin normally always attacks with Queen Charge Hybrid. It's his favorite attack strategy as well, which he's using everywhere. And now he's coming in with the Dragons. Do we see the small mind games already starting going into this match? So really nice switch. It has worked perfectly. And now it's once again back to alternate, and let's see what they're coming up with, because so far you were never ever able to predict what alternate is going to do next.
Well, we talked about that last week, didn't we? They just have so much diversity that it makes it really hard to build bases against them, because you never know what they're going to use. But it could not have started any better for both of these teams. And I'm sure 11 Original are pretty happy with that. I know they've taken a 3-star from alternate, but you can kind of expect that going up against the world champions. So just throwing your own 3-star into the mix is about everything you can do at this stage. And just hope that they slip up.
Yeah, that's right. Hoping that the defense is working and they're running into one of their base, for example. And oh my goodness, we talked about this strategy. I even did a video about this today, and I saw many other content creators doing it as well. This attack strategy is right now everywhere, and it's just so crushing with those earthquakes, with those lightnings and everything. So really, really crazy stuff. Let's see how this works for us, and if all of those witches can just overpower the base.
Yeah, so if you are looking for a strategy to use at home, take close note here. I always like the lightning spell with this strategy. It's not just to take down one of the scatters, but it also helps with the pathing. You can notice the left-hand side of the base, that compartment, pretty much down in essence, that the witches in the center will be able to just concentrate their fire up through the middle of the base, following the log launcher to the town hall, which you can just see that path clear as day. The witch is spawning more and more skeletons, and he doesn't have anything else to deploy at this stage other than a wall breaker and the royal champion alongside his spells, but every single troop on the board and slowly moving through.
Yeah, slowly moving through. It's like I don't know, it's so hard to predict how the attack is going, because it kind of looks bad for the attack, I feel like, but at the same time there are so many witches alive, so you never know if that's actually good or bad. And there are five more freezes not even used, and from this time on I don't think this tunnel is going to have a great time, because it's just non-stop frozen. I don't think it has shot any target so far. Now the Royal Champion is coming in as well, and I think so far with still 3 freezes not used, it looks pretty good.
It does. I think he really needed to freeze the town hall there. Like you said, protecting all of the witches in the center. That is going to be helpful for the Archer Queen and the Royal Champion as they move in towards the single target Inferno. But since he still has 3 freeze spells, he can use that as well. Decides not to save the Archer Queen. She was in the inside of the base anyway, so it looks like he's going to protect the Royal Champion here. That is the main focus, freezing the single. Itsu, I don't think there is anything that can stop this attack right now. Freezing the final defenses, the Royal Champion sets through. Freezing the mortar as well. We've seen this from alternate attacks. Never swagging a spell. Always giving everything, because time could be the difference maker if everything else is tied up. And there we go. The third 3-star already of today.
Oh my god, I always have to laugh seeing this strategy. It just looks so funny, just like only witches one side. And it's just somehow like, I don't know, like those spawning troops are such a tricky troop, I feel like. But Alternate and us especially are doing this perfectly, getting the next 3-star on the board. I feel like it was quite a quick one as well. So as you said, time is always, you should take that in consideration. But at the same time, we have to talk about like, are we now looking, since the start is pretty good for both teams, are we already looking like once again at a perfect war or something like that? And most of the time it is that you have the first, like the best ideas going first. So most of the time it's like starting off really good and then like slowly getting like a bit worse plan-wise, not attack-wise, hopefully, but still like planning-wise. And then most of the time you have one of the safer option plans for the last attack, because that's the position, or like that's the player who has the most pressure. So let's see if they can just keep the momentum going for both sides, because so far this match is looking amazing, I guess.
Always interesting to hear your take, Itsu. Obviously, being in that position yourself throughout the previous World Championships, making sure that you are working as a team, you do just try and take down the bases you are confident with first, and there's always 1 or 2 that are a little bit more tricky that you do save until the end. We have Pazzi now, and it looks like we have a similar smash attack that we've seen Ast open up the war with. Oh no, it was Yo-Yo open up the war with, my apologies. Let's see if 11 Original can replicate it.
Yeah, the only twist to this strategy right now is that he's not bringing any lightning. So he just wants to go in with the blimp nice and early. Wants to take out the Inferno Tower, it looks like, just to do off the Clank Guards as well. And it has a nice start for the Queen charge, because most of the time you're starting this strategy with the Queen charge, making sure the Queen is taking out a huge part of the base already. But now we need to be careful with those headhunters, but perfectly reset the Queen with her ability, attacks, just to target those headhunters.
And she will slowly take that down. We did talk in the stream last week how important it is, if you are attacking at home, trying to lure the Clan Castle troops to the side of the map. It does sound basic, but just making sure you are not engaging them in the middle. Oh, he's Super War Breaker, took out the outside wall. I think that's actually what he wanted there, Itsu, to just allow a little bit extra pathing for the Queen. And this should work out pretty nicely for him, because he still has 2 Super War Breakers to try and get in towards that central multi-target Inferno. But where is the Queen going? Oh, she does step inside. Wow.
Really nice pathing from that Queen over there. Now it's going to be interesting. Is he going to invest another Super War Break to get into the core, or is he letting the Queen kind of like get access to the Town Hall? That seems what it looks like. He wants to charge to the Town Hall, wants to take that out as well. Starting with the P.E.K.K.A. smash, King on the outside, P.E.K.K.A. trying to let them walk inside. And then the witches on the outside as well. No, there are no witches actually in this army composition, I just found out. And now the super wizards in behind to take down the town hall with those P.E.K.K.A. together. And obviously the Queen. All of that now grouping up. And yeah, starting the smash into the base.
Great Grand Warden's ability to protect everything through the Giga Bomb. Normally you want to protect these super wizards with that. They were standing a little bit further back, but the P.E.K.K.A. do manage to preserve their health. Healers switch off and the P.E.K.K.A. move forward. Where does the Queen go here? She's a little bit vulnerable, still has the ability. Needs to make sure that he can protect her through the center. She will be the troop responsible for the multi, but can she get it in time to help keep everything else moving through to the back end of the base? It looks like she might, Itsu. Perfect.
Yeah, Oh my god, those Packer are tanking perfectly, and we now have the Queen taking down the multi. Now on the Clan Castle is bidding at the top, so we have already the Royal Champion getting placed as well. This is looking so good. There are no dangerous defenses just on this back end. He has still another freeze left. And as long as time is not ticking too quickly for Pasi, this is looking like the next 3-star. The P.E.K.K.A, the Royal Champ, everything, like everyone is trying their best. At this point, the Royal Champ is going through. There is still 1 freeze left. If he wants to use that at any second now, it should be soon, I guess. There's the freeze. The troops at the bottom side take down the gold storage. And this means the last 2 biddings are going down. And 11 Original, once again, are repeating and getting the answer done, which is the next 3-star in this match. Wow, Judah, what is happening? We have 6 stars on the board, and with only 4 attacks overall on both sides, like 2 attacks on both sides, is looking pretty good, I would say.
I did not expect anything less from both of these teams. Obviously, we did see the perfect from Alternate last week, but 11 Original did exactly what they needed to do against a team that had performed incredibly well in round 1 in that of Unicorns of Love. We seen Nerves of Steel from Pasi last week with his Queen charge, switching things up there, continuing to take advantage of the bases, and maybe this is 11 Original using different strategies to what they normally do to try and, well, just give themselves as good of a chance as they can. Everyone flawless at the moment, and it is Leonade stepping up to the plate for Alternate.
Oh my god, I just love the creativity of Alternate, because Queen Charge, Inferno Dragons, like no one else is doing that at the moment. Yes, we know the common like Inferno Dragon spam, but not Queen Charge Inferno Dragon. So really interesting choice. He did this already last week with the 3-star, and no one else so far has caught up to it. Maybe it's not tested, maybe it's just too different to what base builders are normally trying to go for. And now he has to wall break his Queen into the next compartment, because this Queen has to engage the next single Inferno Tower really soon. And then my guess would be that it's going to get wall breaked into the core, and then the Inferno Dragons are going to be placed in their Town Hall.
We know how good that Leonade is with his Queen charges. What I love is when we interviewed the players prior to this tournament, everybody gives a very specific strategy that is their favorite. Leonade said, I like the Queen charge, and I adapt the final part of the attack. That's all he does. Queen charges and just takes whatever is in the meta, and that's why you see him really creating his own meta. Queen will be able to get access to the center Itsu, exactly like you said, due to that perfectly placed super wall breaker. And now you see, since she is taking that path, we have the Inferno Dragons coming in, because they have now the pathing direct to the Town Hall. This looks very good as long as the Queen stays on her target to the center.
Yeah, there's another rage needed. He's perfectly using that, and now the Inferno Dragons are on the town. He needs to use the warden ability soon. That's exactly what he's going to do. Maybe a freeze at the top side for the single Inferno Tower to make sure that his king is not getting like killed too early, and that's exactly what he's doing. The Tesla Farmer is being a little bit annoying right there, but still, there is so many Inferno Dragons still alive. Like this Queen Charge is just taking down the entire base. This looks so good so far, with 1 freeze still left, and he has over 50 seconds left. Judo, this attack so far looks amazing.
Whenever you see a Queen charge through majority of the base and the attacker still has the Queen ability at the end, you always just have to applaud how skillful that is. Now the Royal Champion steps up. She is taking down a lot of the defenses and is going to be responsible for trying to finish this one off. Time could be a factor here. He still has 1 wizard trying to just wait. Archer Tower locks onto the Queen so he can start that wizard. Time ticking down though. I'm not sure he's going to get through this now. The Queen charge, as impressive as it was, just might have took a little bit too much time. 10 seconds remain, and although he has the strength to get through here, time ticks away, and the 3-star slips away from Leonade, 97%, and that now gives an opening for 11 Original to take the lead.
That was such an important defense right there. Even though it's a 97 defense, which is still a lot of percentage, but still it is a defense. And that's the important thing. So from this point on, 11 Original has everything in their own hands. Like in theory, obviously. But still, that's the position you want to be in. That's the position where you can put up a lot of pressure on the enemy team. And that's exactly what you would look for when facing a team like Alternate. Like them... That was their first attack, not being a 3-star in this competition. Like, you have to think about that. That's a pretty good feeling at this position for the 11 Original crew, especially for the base builders over there. So let's see what they're coming up with next, and they're going in with the Super Witches with the bats. So I don't think that is the most common thing, and I'm not really sure if Alternate predicted this. So let's see what exactly Burak is going to go for.
We've seen plenty of witch attacks last week and a pretty good hit rate as well. 11 Original obviously sees something in this base that makes them want to use the Super Witches. The Grand Warden taking a bit of damage, very careful on the healers, making sure not to deploy them until the air defense went down. Now the Grand Warden can be recuperated in health, and the Eagle Artillery is always a good defense to get down straight away, particularly when you are using a strategy, like you said, with spawner-style troops, because you need to keep them alive. The more you have alive, the more troops you spawn, and it really is just an ever-going cycle that you basically have to keep your witches alive. You do not want them to go down, and you will be looking good from that point.
And now the logs are start rolling. Start rolling into the base, start taking down defenses and walls. And now the scatter, though, the log launcher now needs to be protected, because the scatter right now is dealing a ton of damage, but those logs are doing a great job to take down all of those buildings. We have now the Super Witches slowly make it into the base. The Clan Cast is out there as well. The enemy queen is taken down, and now the king is getting placed from the left side as well. Not sure why he has not placed that into the main squad either, but do you know that?
Yeah, an interesting approach. Maybe he wanted the king to run into the base, through the back door, if you will, towards the town hall. Or maybe he just wanted better pathing for the royal champion to sideswipe in towards the single target inferno. It is an interesting move either way. Now we do see the royal champion coming through. Super Witch is well protected at this point. I always like to see 3 ice golems inside that log launcher, just to protect your main army. And time is ticking down fast here, Itsu. We have 1 minute left, and we are only into the 50%, but the bats, as long as he can protect them, normally do finish things up pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's right, but the one wizard tower is on the bats as well, so you had to invest all of the freezes really early. You need some cleanup on the top left to get those percentages in, but the wizard tower is staying alive, and those bats do not have a fun time against that one. The Super Witches are still trying their best. The royal champion without her ability is going to fall against the single inferno tower, and this is not looking as planned for Burak. He had the idea of sending in the king on the outside, having a bigger, like a back and push, and obviously the pathing for the royal champ. But I feel like, not sure if that was the best decision. Maybe the king power in the core would have been helpful, but this is not looking like this would be a 3-star attack. And this means, even though 11 Original had the chance to push ahead, they now will fall behind on percentage, because this does not look like that would get above 90%. So Burak sadly is not making it. 83%, which is, I would say, a pretty low percentage on like the level which those teams are on. So that was not the attack they were looking for.
Particularly when both clans came out with 3 stars, it is definitely not the percentage that they needed. It gives Atn.attax the chance to do their little dance again if they are to take the war back into their own hands. Like you said, if now the teams were to 3-star throughout, Atn.attax, they're back in the driver's seat because they have the percentage point. So really, Atn.attax, although they didn't get the 3-star and they slipped up, they wouldn't have been happy about that. They've got to be happy that in a tough situation against a great squad in that of 11 Original, they are still effectively in the lead.
Yeah, that's right. And I feel like bases like this, they look so interesting. Like, you see always those empty compartments in between of those key defenses, which look so interesting. And now we have Boom coming in with the Blizzard Lalo, an attack strategy which he's using in Legend right now, and he's so good with this. Wow. Take a look at where the blimp has made it. Right onto the clan castle. So from this compartment, he can take down the enemy Eagle, the enemy Inferno Tower, the X-Bows, even the enemy Royal Champion could be taken down, and this is just so much value. This is looking so good as an entry, but I feel like the last invisibility spell was a little bit too late, so the Eagle is not going down.
I think he wanted that Eagle most definitely. That's why he took specifically the amount of invisibility spells that he did. But like you said, the Super Wizards fell at the final hurdle before he could get that invisibility spell in. Let's see how he adapts to get the Eagle Artillery. I don't think it's going to be too difficult for him. Maybe even just a couple of loons to get in there. Probably doesn't want to send his Royal Champion. Or is he just going to drive his Queen in there and then walk her down to the area that he wanted to?
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's going to place the Ice Golem with that Royal Champ together for the enemy Inferno Tower, and this is then pushing his King and Queen into that Royal Champion compartment because he wants to take down the Scatter as well, and because that's the next close compartment, so the Wall Break should target that, and that's what it looks like exactly. The next Wall Break can place, as I said, it's going right into that Royal Champ compartment. The wall. Oh no!
Oh no!
This scatter shot just one-shots the wall breaker, and this means he won't have access to the scatter shot. That is huge, and this is looking really good for the defense, but the Royal Champ is trying to somehow save this and somehow get the scatter out of the way.
Looks like the Super Wall Breaker might have damaged the wall because the Queen was able to get through there after the scatter shot was taken down from the Royal Champion. Does mean that the Lalo has to go a little bit onto the inside of the base, but nothing too drastic here. Boom can definitely still rescue this. He does have the balloons over the top of the Town Hall. Takes a lot of damage there with his scatter shot, a couple of wizard towers. It's not looking particularly good here, but if anyone can do something, Boom is the man for the job. Like you said, he uses this in the Legends League all of the time. Defense is going down, but it's not going to be enough here. It is just too strong in the end. And another slip up from Alternate Attack means 11 Original could take it back into their hands again. What are we seeing here, Itsu? 3 stars after 3 stars, now dropping to the 2.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about in the beginning of the match, because like I said, the first attacks are always your best ideas. Like, whenever you have to give the attack order to the admins, or like overall, it is all about that you want to like have your best plans in the beginning, because for the other plans you might have some more room or some more time to plan them, or like maybe to get some other ideas on the base. But this is exactly what we're seeing right there. The first 2 attacks from both teams were flawless, and now we had 2 attacks where I feel like there were not a lot of mistakes from the attackers. It were mainly the plans itself, which didn't work out that great. Which means, as I said, the plans are kind of like structured that you always have the best plans first, then it's getting a little bit like worse, and then most of the time the last attack is then again going to be a better or like a safer attack, because that's the plan where you have the most time with. So let's see if that's exactly the case. But so far, once again, we have another option for 11 Original to push ahead, because even though they might be behind on percentage, they still have the chance to push this further on star level, because if they're going to get the next 3-star, they're going to lead with 1 star.
Totally. And it is the Queen Charge Hybrid. First time we have seen this today, Itsu, and we've seen at the start of the stream just how popular this was, as well as its hit rate. Is this the moment where 11 Original take the lead in this war? Starting off with the Yeti Blimp. Looks like he gets pretty good damage onto the scatter shot there, dropping the blimp directly onto it. Always like to see the precision deployment of the blimp. Just means you can get a little bit better value with the Yeti Mites. Although he does get the air defense in this one. Very nicely done. Lures out the Clan Castle troops and can deal with that pretty nicely.
Yeah, and there's the first wall break, giving the Queen the access to the enemy Eagle. And then it's going to be interesting where he's trying to go next. He has 2 more wall breaks. Not really sure what the wall break is going to target next. Maybe the corner at this air defense. Let's see what exactly he's going to use the wall breakers for. But it seems like the Lava Pups actually got rid of 1 healer, which is huge. Like, even though he has not hit a single Black Mine just yet, he already lost a healer just because of those Lava Pups going completely crazy. So The queen, so far, the queen charge looks good. There should be a Kokudu next as soon as the elephant's going down. That's exactly what he's doing. And then the queen charge is just going for that town hall, going for that eagle, and then going into the town direction next.
I was going to say, that is quite a lengthy queen charge there, Itsu. Yves Carlito is the queen charge hybrid specialist. He does like to attack first, so maybe this is a moment where he just needed a little bit extra time to plan. Let's see whether that actually pulls him in the 3-star. 1 minute 30 left. Hasn't started the hybrid yet, but there it is. Just wanted his queen to get access to that multi-target inferno. Thin the line here for the hybrid to dive in directly towards the town hall with the king on the outside of the base. Like the use of the royal champion in there as well, just to help take down the enemy heroes. But he does still have a headhunter, which he will probably deploy either to the northwest side of the base or when he's about to use the warden ability. But it looks like he should be using that any moment for the town hall as they approach it.
Yeah, it's so much damage on the hybrid. Perfect use of the warden ability. Headhunter can be placed now as well. That's exactly what he's doing. The queen is getting access to the next Inferno Tower compartment as well with taking this wall down. And now it's all about the backhand. He has one heal left, which he has to use for the bomb tower and scatter combination. But Judo, this is looking really good for Carlito. And so far, with the Royal Champion still alive, this looks good power-wise. But we already had this case where power was enough, but time was the issue because there's only 30 seconds left in this attack.
He still has the queen ability, which he's trying to hold on to because of that single target inferno. Oh no, he's had to use it. The miners have gone to the outside. The ones on the inner portion of the base go down. They don't protect the royal champion. The single will take down the queen, and can you believe that it is going to be a factor of time here? Maybe the miners wouldn't have got through this section. 11 original, so close to taking the lead, but again, it's not happening for them. They are still trailing on percentage now. They really needed that because moving into the last attack, if alternate get the 3, unfortunately, it is all over.
Yeah, now it's up to alternate, and that's not a position where you would like to have alternate in because they are normally so good at this. So, especially with, I think Vale is still up, right? So the MVP of the Clash Worlds 2020 World Championship is still up there. Oh, I'm super excited to see what he's going in with next because, as I said, Vale is super flexible when it comes down to the strategy choice, which is one of his biggest powers. So, I mean, should we try to predict what is going to come from Vale? Just trying it, just trying it. I mean, we should try it, right?
You were pretty good with your predictions last week.
I mean, I think I'm going with dragons.
Oh, I was going to say witches. Oh,
yes!
Look at that! Dragons it is! So he is using the lightning spells. He had a heroic recovery last week with the single balloon to take down, wasn't it the Eagle Artillery? You can always see highlights of the wars on the COC Esports Twitter page if you miss parts of it. Really, there are just incredible moves by the pro players. But this one starting off exactly how he wants at this point is to funnels the dragons in. They go to the base, and I love the stone slammer just off to the side. You often don't get very good value with that if you send it in with the dragons since it's a little bit slow. So I think it's wise for Vale to send that into the 6 o'clock area.
Yeah, he's just trying to create pathing for his dragons so they're not splitting too much. As soon as the clan caster, as the building is going down, he's deploying his heroes as well because he does not want to lure out a possible, like a hound or something like that. So really good choice over there. We have now the wall break to the town hall. And now the dragons have split up quite a bit, but he has the royal champion still left as well. His king and queen obviously are still alive. And at this point now, it's getting like messy when it comes down to the splits. But I think so far, like power-wise, this is looking really good. He's using a perfect freeze for the Town Hall and the single Inferno Tower. And this should now take down the Inferno Tower. And Judo, this is looking really good because the World Champion is not even deployed yet.
Not deployed, and he has the king ability, the queen ability. There is not a lot of major defenses left. There is one expo that could cause him a little bit of an issue, but the royal champion can jump the walls in order to get in there. She's only just deployed. Let's see where she goes, but from this point out, Itsu, I think it is pretty much nailed on. There would have to be something really bad happening here. His king does go down though, leaving his royal champion vulnerable, and that one expo could be the difference maker here if the Royal Champion cannot get onto it early. Let's see if there's any skelly traps or anything in this area. Royal Champion soldiering on. Can she get the Expo? Stepping up, and there it happens. Royal Champion takes it down. It will be the 3-star for Vale, and this means that Atn.attax have taken the war back into their hands, and they will be progressing to tomorrow's finals. A fantastic fight from 11 Original, but it's not enough, unfortunately. But can they finish off with a 3-star and make sure that they leave the warm-up tournament in style, getting ready for this year's World Championships in itself?
Yeah, it was a great performance either way from 11 Original. Like, just the start of this match was so action-packed and pushing the World Champion. So, like, Atn has had to get, like, everything into this match. I feel like this match was super close, and 11 Original might go to force this onto like the tiebreaker on the percentage, but still, like, let's hope they're going to get the great momentum going into the further year in the competition. Everything finishing off this tournament with a triple would be definitely helping for them.
Yes, and I'm sure they have the capability of doing so. It's definitely not the last we will see of 11 Original. Like you said, starting out the war and really just putting the pressure on Atn.attax. In the end, though, they have been in this situation again and again. That's why they are the world champions. A lot of people interested to see how they would perform in this tournament, taking a good portion of the off-season off from the game, but they are showing that they still mean business, and I'm excited to see how they progress tomorrow and who they will be facing after the rest of today's matches.
Yeah, like from this point on there, I mean, obviously we started with 24 incredibly good teams, and now with only 8 teams left, it's just like the best of the best. And we have now Evemar coming in with the Queen Charge Lalo, his special ability, if you want to say that. He has done an amazing job so far with this strategy, and he's bringing once again the jump spell, which we have seen a couple of times is getting used on top of those empty compartments to get access to the core.
Yeah, I always like to see a good old-fashioned Queen Charge Lalo. It really does require so much technical specifics, and that's like you said, Itsu. The plans towards the end of the war do tend to be the ones with the lengthy Queen Charges, maybe the Lalos that do require a little bit more extra time. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Evemar can finish off in style for 11 Original. Very controlled at the moment. Nice super wall breaker. Access for the Queen in towards the Eagle. Just trying to set up the pathing here for his Lava Loon. And he is, well, giving it everything he can because the King is diving in towards the scatter shot at the bottom. Oh, he's not. He's walked on the outside, but maybe he's just going to finish that off with the Lalo anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of... I'm not sure, because I don't... Like, this was not the plan for him. This was not the plan for him to charge into this compartment. So he has to completely adapt on the fly. He's now charging in between of a single Inferno Tower and a multi-Inferno Tower, which is obviously not the optimal thing to have. He's having to invest a lot of loons and now the Slammer as well to somehow push the Queen into the right direction. And this is a lot of damage on that Queen. So she has to somehow survive this. Otherwise, the healers are kind of like worthless at this point. And this is always the risky part about Queen Charge Lalo. And there's just so much damage on the Queen. Let's hope that she can at least take down the Scatter and maybe even the Sweeper.
I think she will. She was under a lot of fire there because of the Scatter in the center. Unfortunately, the healers are locked on from the multi, and he can't really do anything. Doesn't want to commit the freeze spells, I would say, to that, because he will need that for the Lalo. We are down to the last 50 seconds, and the Lalo continues on, but with that back-end multi-target Inferno, he really needs the Royal Champion to do work here. Itsu pressing that ability, pinging through the Tesla. That is awesome to try and move towards the Scatter. Froze the enemy Queen. I think she just about went down as he froze, though, so maybe he didn't really need to do that, but did protect his Royal Champion either way.
Yeah, the freeze would have had to be a little bit earlier to keep his Royal Champion a little bit more health, because I feel like the Royal Champion could have finished off this base easily, but now it's up to the Warden and the last remaining loons. Can those loons with the Warden together finish off this base? Yes, 19 seconds left. The dragon is coming as well. The red mines are coming as well though, and they're trying to catch up quickly, but this is still a couple of minions with the Warden, with the dragon. It's 8 seconds left with 3 buildings, and this is looking like a solid attack for Eve Mark. And even though the entry went so wrong, he still managed to triple this, and Mark is doing it again. Great Queen Charge Lalo from him, and this means, was it 13-13?